Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryan Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Dear devotees, if you remember last class how everything is been depending on the Brahman visa. Yasya brahmacha shaktrancha ube bhavata vodanaha mrityur yasyopasechanam kaita vedasa yatrasaha. Even the death is a pickle for him. So it is a very symbolical way of putting, actually the Lord Emma is putting. What does it mean? The creation, the sustenance and the dissolution. Srushti, Sthiti, Pralaya, all the three are happening in Brahman. So, in Atman or in Brahman, the whole creation is there. Rather, other way of putting is, the Brahman is the substratum for everything. For an example, in Sankranti, we do different type of sweet meats, or using the sugar candy, we make different colors. One will be some bird's shape, and one will be lamp-like, then it may be candle-like, then it may be different shapes. But if you see, the substratum is what? Sugar. If you remove the sugar from all that sweets, all the sweets ceases to exist. So the Brahman is the substratum, and the whole world is being projected based on the Brahman, or with the help of Brahman. So that has been told. Now when we hear all these things, when we are hearing this, the question might come, okay, all right, fine, the Atman, I am Brahman, or I am not the body and mind. What do I get by understanding? Because I have not experienced, just by understanding, what do I get? This can be the question for a few of us, or at least it came when I was studying, this question had come to me. So here only comes the role of awareness. There's a beautiful story in Mahabharata. Mahabharata, when Krishna comes for Sandhana before the Kurukshetra war. So that is the one place I think Duryodhana really he expresses himself very beautifully. Duryodhana, in privately, he is trying to handle the situation so that the war should not happen. He is trying his best to prevent the war in a way. He says, Duryodhana, you belong to the Bharata clan, Kuru clan. And great kings have been your predecessors. They were all great kings. And you are born in such a family, and the way you are behaving is very childish, and it doesn't befit you. So here he is using, try to be aware from which family you are coming, or from which clan you are coming. That is the catch point here. Then Duryodhana beautifully opens himself and he says, I think whole Mahabharata, very few places he has opened himself, I feel personally. He says, Janami dharmam nachame pravrutti, janami papam nachame nivrutti, kim karniyam Vasudeva. Oh Vasudeva, I know what is right, what is dharma, what is righteousness I know, but I am not interested in following it. And also I know what is papa, what is anyathics, what is immorality or sin, I know, but I am not interested in leaving it, what to do. And afterwards he tells, oh, as you guide me, I will do it. Means because he's the Lord, as you guide, I'm doing it. Then Krishna says, please don't pull me here. Whatever you are doing, all the wrong things, don't pull me here. No, it is not. It is your doing, it is not my doing, he says, and he leaves. But the point here is, so when the moment he said, you are from the Kuru clan and the Bharata clan, it doesn't befit you, means he became aware of his family status, clan status, and he opened himself. This is an awareness. When we see a behavior of a person, maybe with friends and family people or husband and wife or anyone, we say, you being a human being, how can you behave like this? A sensible man, when he hears, he might get alarmed. Yes, as a human being, I am not supposed to act like this, behave like this. Then he corrects himself. He becomes aware that he is a human being and he can't afford to do the mistake, or he can't afford to do the behavior in such a way. So here the awareness is pertaining to the humanity or the human or a homo sapien, man or woman. Then when we are talking, maybe in a group discussion in an office, a manager makes a statement and the assistant director or the higher authority says, come on my dear, you are manager, you can't speak like this. You can't be so irresponsible. Then the manager will take aback his words and he says sorry, he expresses apologies and he says he will not do henceforth. So here the awareness is with respect to his status, or rather it is his work portfolio. So here if you see, all the awareness is with the body, mind, thoughts, society, work, social status or whatever. And the same thing, if that awareness, when it is been turned towards the Atman or Brahman, we can very well imagine how beautiful it is. At this moment, I might not have experienced I am the self. If I am aware that I am the self, then a lot of things can be resolved. Oh, my mind is agitated, Swamiji. Your Vedanta is not helping me. Yes, who are you, my dear? I am so and so, I am such and such a person. Fine. Who is suffering? I am suffering. We say, no, you are wrong. That means you have not understood the Vedanta properly. Then who is suffering? I am suffering. No, you are wrong. Then he starts scratching his head. Then probably he might have to be reminded, or if he remembers his Vedantic truth, he says, oh, I am the Atman, the Brahman. Then who is suffering? Your mind is suffering, so-called, or at the most Jivatman, the pseudo-self, or the so-called individual self, or the embodied self is suffering, which is nothing but reflected consciousness. It is not even original consciousness. It is a reflected consciousness. Tomorrow someone became, oh Swami Shantivratananda, we are a fan following you, we follow you, we are a fan of you, we want to make an image of you. They created an image. Then for some reason in an accident, the image got crashed. Then should I sit and cry? Oh, I have died. No, my image got, in accident, my image got perished, but I have not died. We all know that. Then if something is happening in the reflected consciousness, then why am I feeling that I am suffering? Not even reflected consciousness is suffering. Because of the presence of reflected consciousness, your mind is aware of suffering there actually. So there is an instrument, the problem in instrument even actually speaking, strictly speaking. Because when with the same problem you go to sleep and you are in a deep sleep, there is no problem actually. There is no stress, whatever the so-called, my mind is carried over by that problem, Swamiji, so much stress, acute stress. We may say, but when I'm sleeping, my mind is inactive, then what happens? Then even the problem doesn't exist. So when I say I am suffering, the Vedanta asks, my dear, when you say I am suffering, this I refers to whom? So there is a confusion between I referring to body and mind, I referring to the consciousness or awareness. So I am that awareness who is beyond the suffering and also the joy. So I neither experience the joy, I neither experience the suffering, both belongs to the mind. I am aware of both, but I am not the part of it. So this is the great of awareness. Avinashi, Akarta, Abhokta, Nitya, all this we keep on hearing about the nature of the Atman in Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads. What does it mean? So when I say I am suffering, my body and mind is suffering, I am not suffering. Then I say I am in pain. No, again, your body and mind in pain, you are not in pain. I am disturbed, terribly disturbed, because someone accused me for no reason. I am terribly disturbed because they used very bad language. Again, first and foremost, that is something words, or even if you go a little deep, it is just a sound. Even if you accept it as they have scolded me, definitely it is a very abusive language. Again, it is with body and mind, not with the self. Self is beyond all these things. I am not saying that you should be insensitive in this for all these human transactions or empirical transactions. What I mean to say that we can transcend all these things. If you transcend, if you take from the role of witness and if you handle, then what happens? You'll be able to handle them in a better way. For example, if you go to the mountain, you'll be able to see the whole city. So similarly, if you lift your mind, then it is easy for you to understand and handle these problems. Maybe emotional problems, mental problems, interpersonal relationship problems, work-related problems, or your own problems, attitudinal problems. Everything can be handled in a better way. And also, I keep saying that I am the subject and not the object. Though I am the subject, I am superimposing the nature of the object in me, which is called avarana shakti, the power of concealment. And because of that, the power of projection happens. The world becomes real for me. So the Vedanta is asking, the Vedanta is trying to, or Vedanta is helping us to remove the avarana shakti, the power of concealment. So I'm giving some Vedantic basic understanding so that you can get benefited. Then I will come to Upanishad. So once the avarana shakti is no more, whether vikshepa shakti, the power of projection is there or not, it doesn't matter. Why? Because the satyatva buddhi, the notion of reality, doesn't exist anymore in the world. It will be retained back in the self. For an example, like I was an ignorant person. I was seeing the mobile, or I was seeing the world and its objects in a particular way. Then now I have experienced nirvikalpa samadhi, or I be brahmagnani now, jivan mukta. Then will I see the world in the same way or not? While you are experiencing at the sensate level or at the level of mind, yes. There will be, I don't think, much difference between the way the ajnani perceives and the way brahmagnani perceives externally. But internally, there's a difference of heaven and hell. For Ajnani, the world is so real. Just like a toy story, if you remember. And for Ajnani, the world appears, no doubt, in the similar way. But for him, it isn't just mithya. It is an appearance. Because the notion of reality has been shifted from world to the self, or to the subject, or to the God. Then he doesn't get boggled out. He doesn't get carried over. He doesn't expect any change from anyone, because his happiness is centered in him. He understands very well. We all think, if he becomes like this, I will be happy. If she becomes like this, I will be happy. Or if the event happens like this, I will be happy. If I get now little India, whole India is suffering from heat wave, we should get a good rain, then the temperature goes down, I will be happy. So my happiness is depending on the rain. We might get rain, we might not get rain. Body has to undergo some pain or some uneasiness, no doubt. I'm not undermining that. But the suffering can be reduced or will be minimized the moment when I understand I am the self and I have a body and mind. And whatever the problems has got, it has got body and mind, not me. So I am the subject and I should have an objective outlook. Then what happens? Probably what I can say you is, it is internal and it is constant. I am the self, I am the subject and not the object. Then at the same time, there will be freedom and space actually. Because when I am the subject and not the object, then when we say there is a freedom in me, I am not bound. So my happiness doesn't depend on any person or any event or any situation, and I will be complete. But I am the subject and I am supposed to think, I am supposed to have an objective outlook. Unfortunately, I am thinking I am the object and having a subjective outlook. Just opposite, jingling with the words, no doubt. Then what happens? Any action, any event, any person talk, immediately my mind thinks, how will I be affected from this? Positive or negative? So always I subjectivity. Hence my mind is colored always. I may be judgmental. I may not be able to see things as it is. That's where many problems comes within us. And I also depend for my happiness and peace externally more and more. If I have got subjective outlook, it is like a turbulent ocean. Whereas if I am the subject and having an objective outlook, it is like a calm lake. In the calm lake, what happens? You'll be able to see the surface of the water. Why? Because the water is calm, not disturbed. But in the ocean, since the the waves are turbulent, you cannot see the base, and the strength, the energy is getting wasted, dissipated, and you will be the victim of constant anxieties, sufferings, and whatnot. Again, it comes to you will travel from what to so what. If you are a subject and having an objective outlook, you will be having so what. And if you are thinking you are object and having a subjective outlook, then you will think, what can she say this? Say, today I received a phone call. So a lady was crying. Why? Because 50,000 has been taken away. I mean, someone, they do business, one so-called customer probably, he said that, sir, I have paid extra, more amount, can you pay it back? Say 1, 2, 3,000 extra he was paid when he purchased a bag of rice. Of course, he had paid, no doubt, and 2 or 3,000 rupees extra he had paid. So they sent it back. And somehow he used that transaction and he managed to get 50,000 back from the owner's account. So she was crying terribly. Okay, I feel compassionate and I feel sorry for her, and I was trying to tell her, okay, don't worry. I mean, by crying you don't get it. I know that, but then better you go and immediately inform to the police and take care of your accounts, or maybe speak with the bank and try to seize it. The account and all. But she was crying profusely as if her whole life has gone, as if her whole property has been taken away. So this is what I mean saying attachment. I am an object and having a subjective outlook. We suffer, and afterwards we say, what God has created? How God can create such a nonsense? How God can create such a world? It is our foolish. God is not foolish. It is our foolish. We are not able to understand things. Why? Because we have got subjective outlook. We don't have objective outlook. So Vedanta helps us to travel from thinking object to subject, and from subjective outlook to the objective outlook. So Vedanta is asking you to experience and think time and again that I am the subject and have an objective outlook. This is the fundamental solution or permanent solution for all our problems, or for the most of our problems. All right, so now I think you can understand why Vedanta helps us. Maybe on the lighter side, you can understand why you should attend my classes regularly, so that you will get this freely, such a great truths. Of course, it is not mine. It is only from Upanishads I am telling. I cannot claim the copyright. All right. In the first valli, the first sub-chapter, if you see, the Upanishad presented the ideal conditions to have the Atma-vidya or Brahma-vidya. That means by telling what all the conditions we have to develop, or what is the qualities one should develop, so that one will be the fit person to study Vedanta and to experience the self-knowledge. That's what we saw in the Nācikētaḥ's sadhana chatushtaya sampannata, 4 prerequisites. And so from that also qualifications of the student and qualifications of the teacher, both were discussed in the first chapter. And the knowledge glorified. The Brahma-vidya was also glorified. And in the second chapter, if you see, with response to the third question of Nācikētaḥ, I hope you remember, most of you, third question. What was third question? So Yama explained the nature of the Atman or the Brahman is nirvikari, chaitanyam, avinashi, srushtititi, layakaranam, then sarva adhishthanam, akarta, abhokta, all these things. So now in this chapter, what are the preparations for Atma Vidya or from a Brahma Vidya? You will be taught. What are the preparations for Atma to have the self-knowledge, and what is self-knowledge, and what are the benefits one get by having self-knowledge. So one is sadhana, Atma Vidya sadhanani. The second is the Atma Vidya, and the third is Atma Vidya phalam. All these 3 things will be discussed in the third chapter, third sub-chapter actually. Rutam pibantau sukrutasya lōkē, guhāṁ praviṣṭau paramē parārdhē, Chāyātapau brahmavidō vadanti, pañcāgnayō yecha triṇācikētaḥ. So here Yama is making a statement. Oh my dear Nācikētaḥ, this is not my statement. Whose? Brahmavidō vadanti. The people who have experienced the Brahman, who have experienced I am that Brahman, or in the Kenopanishad language, claim that I am that Brahman. When can I claim? When can I claim the property? If I am really, it is my property, like ancestral property, say for an example. It is my grandpa's property, so I have got the inheritance claim, I have got right, so then only I can claim. If not, I cannot claim. So it is my birthright. So Kenopanishad says, it is your birthright, claim that you are the self. Claim that means what? Try to understand or try to remove the knowledge. So here, such a person who has claimed and who has made himself, made as its part, his part, brahmavidāh vadanti. He is speaking. What is he speaking? Rutam pibantau sukrutasya lōkē. Rutam pibantau sukrutasya lōkē. In this world or in the body, there are two people. Rutam pibantau, and they are drinking, it seems. Guhāṁ praviṣṭau paramē parārdhē. All right, two people are drinking. What they are drinking? If you say in Ireland, what are they drinking? Then they say, oh, they are drinking Guinness, they say. So in the Ireland, if you say people, they start speaking of Guinness. So anything you can say, you can take juice or maybe water or a chilled water, whatever. So two people are drinking. Where are they drinking? In the pub or in the club or in the house or in the street? If you say, no. Guhāṁ praviṣṭau, inside the cave. Inside the cave. The cave is not anywhere else, not in the Himalayas or any Alps mountain. It is inside me. It is in every human being. It is in every being, not only human being. It is in every being. And paramē parārdhē. And one person, the one person is very superior in that. Then how are they, both of them? Chāyātapau. They are nothing but light and shade. If I stand in front of a light, there will be shade of me, isn't it? So like that, Chāyātapau, light and shade, like that you see. So like that, one is light, the one is shade. So one is person, the other is just his image. Chāyātapau, brahmavidō vadanti. And this has been told by, not by me, my dear, brahmavidas, the people who knows Brahman, experienced Brahman. Then if you want to get it, then pañcāgnayō triṇācikētaḥ. Pañcāgnayō means in the Vedic tradition in the olden days, every householder, he was supposed to maintain 5 types of fire. And one who used to worship, maintain and worship 5 types of fire, every grostha. So that is the reason when a person dies, why they light the fire in front of the house? Because the Yajamana has died, the fire which he was worshipped, the same fire they put it out. That means the Yajamana is no more, and when he's been taken to the cremation ground, the same fire in a mud pot they used to take. Using that fire, they used to lit the body. The whole life he worshipped it, and with the same fire. So into that same fire, the person has been, sacrificed or offered. So Pañcāgnayō, every householder was supposed to have it. From this angle, sannyasi has been told he has done Agni Visarjana. He has renounced fire. That's the reason many traditional people ask, Swami, you have renounced fire, how can you cook? Because we have renounced fire means I am not supposed to touch the fire. So here renouncing fire means what? I have renounced this Pañcāgnayō means what? I cannot be an householder. Or I cannot perform any kamya karmas. All my actions should be done to please God, not to please anyone. Anyhow, triṇācikētaḥ already, that the nācikētagṁ Agni you have said. So that is what here, triṇācikētaḥ. So if you remember, there were the explanation of the 2 birds in the Mundaka Upanishad also. The similar idea also has been told. Who is light and who is shadow? If you say paramē parārdhē, the light is what here, the Brahman, and the shade is nothing but the Jivatman or the individual self. So they appear they are 2 different people, but they are not. There is only one. Light and shadow, are there 2 things? No, only one thing. So now it is very clearly, now why am I suffering or why am I experiencing bondage has been explained here beautifully. When the original consciousness, earlier I had told probably, when the original consciousness, it has been reflected on the reflecting medium called mind, there is an experience, there is a reflection, we all know that. That reflection or reflected consciousness is called the Jivatma. And Jivatma is suffering. Now, mind itself is inert. The consciousness is falling, the awareness or the light is falling on that. That's where the inert mind becomes sentient. And it absorbs the nature of the objects and other things, and it feels that I am suffering. The mind is thinking that I am suffering, and the jiva, the real person, the Brahman, Atman is also thinking that I am suffering. No, just like if my image has been damaged, if my image has been spoiled, that doesn't mean that I am spoiled. No, not at all. So if there's a problem in the reflecting medium, and if there's a problem in the reflected consciousness, then why should I assume that I have got a problem? So to make this understand, they are telling this. Why? Because the mind is a subtle matter. Which is subtle matter? Inert and subtle, no doubt. So it is capable of reflect the consciousness. And if something happens to the reflecting medium and reflected consciousness, I am thinking that the problem is to me. Why? The mirror, it is parichinna, it is finite in nature. But I am aparichinna, I am infinite in nature, which are just opposites, but still we have mixed ourselves. Like a fire and cold, heat and cold, can they coexist? It can never be. But still, here ignorance and knowledge both are going together, unfortunately. And so many minds are there. That's where we say so many jivas are there. Why? Because so many minds are there. Why? So many reflecting mediums are there. But in reality, there is only one, non-dual, advaita. There are not two, that's all we say. We don't say it is one only, we only say not two. Not two also includes not 3, not 4, not 5, not 10. And it means what? It is one only. Then why we are experiencing so many people? It is only reflecting mediums and reflected consciousness, the virginal consciousness, it is only one. And we all thinking that people are walking, I am sitting, I am talking. No, all is done with your mind and body. You are aware of all these actions. So, Jiva and Paramatma are analogous to shade and light. So, atapaha means what? Your sun actually, which are diagonally opposite. And very interesting point, what I was thinking when I was reading this. So, I am neither karta nor bhokta. I am neither the doer nor the experiencer. Then who is doer? My mind and body and sense organs. Then who is experiencer? Again, mind and body and sense organs are the most embodied self. Embodied self is the doer and embodied self is the experiencer. I, the self, is neither experiencer nor the doer. This is one thing which most of us know. The moment if there is no notion of agentship, no accumulation of papa and punya. This we can very clearly see in the animals. Animals also experience pain and pleasure. Animals experience hunger. Animals experience cold and heat. Animals experience the danger. Animals experience security and all. They only can experience these things and they can only exhaust the karma, but they cannot accumulate the karma. When the lion is killing the deer, it is been natural instinct. It is a biological clock. It kills and it eats. Neither it enjoys nor it suffers. It only fills his belly. That's all. It is like a tailor-made program. Just like the clock will be running as how you have set the machine it will be running. It doesn't feel that monotonous. It doesn't feel happy. It doesn't feel unhappy. It doesn't feel neutral. Nothing. There is no consciousness at all. But here in the animals, according to the Vedanta, there is consciousness and there is reflecting medium. All the 17 or 19 components of the sukshma sharira also exist, but the sense of doership is not been possible because the physical body doesn't support there. So only bhoktrutva is there, kartrutva bodha is not there. Since there is no kartrutva bodha, so there is no accumulation of punya and papa, there is only exhaustion. So when I become a gnani in the sense, again, limitation of the language, when I become a brahmagnani, if I do any activity, nothing will taint me. Because there is no kartrutva bodha at all. So the root cause is what? The agentship of I. When Swami Purushottamji, the great monk of Ramakrishna order, used to say, Nanu, idu nanna mantra. ಈಗ arite idu ನನ್ನ ಮನದ ಕುತಂತ್ರ, he says. Earlier I was thinking, I, so nice, so beautiful and all. But now I understood this is the crookedness of my mind. So this I, it is this I, the problematic I is what? Pertinent to the body and mind. So that has to shift from the I, the self has been mixed with the I, with the body and mind. The moment the doership comes, the agentship comes, then the experience-ship also comes, then the accumulation of punya and papa comes, and for its exhaustion, again you have to take a birth. Again, you have to take birth means your mind has to, your sukshma sharira has to take birth, not yourself or not myself. So that all these ideas has been encrypted in this first mantra actually. And who is the shade? Jivatma. And who is the light? It is the Paramatma or the Brahman. And without me, my shade cannot exist. So similarly, without the light, no shade can happen. Shade doesn't have any independent existence. Shade is nothing but absence of light at all. Absence of light at all. In the Nyaya Sutra, so one of the school of Indian philosophy, there is a huge discussion. Abhava. Abhava is an independent entity for them. So the Vedantin says, no, abhava cannot have an independent existence. It is only the absence of something, that's all. But they say, no, abhava is an independent existence, and they discuss and they give their own logic. So quite interesting all these things. So here, the shade when you say, the darkness you say, darkness doesn't have its own existence. It is only the absence of light. In the physical level, I'm saying. So when you say so-called Jivatma, it is nothing but it is the reflection of the Atman or Brahman or Paramatman. So the moment I understand, then what happens? The shade dissolves. Sri Ramakrishna puts in a beautiful way. When a salt doll goes to the ocean to find out the depth, when the salt doll, when it goes, what happens? The salt doll gets dissolved. Then Swami Sri Ramakrishna tells, now who is there to come and tell us how deep the ocean is? No one else is there. So when the Jivatma or the embodied self, the notion of individuality gets disappeared, then there is nothing of experience, there is nothing of individuality or so-called. Everything is about nothing but reflected consciousness. And with the help of this reflected consciousness, mind is thinking, I am the doer and I am the experiencer. But neither of. And it is appearing that I am suffering. I means again, here I is pertaining to the not body and mind. It is what? The self. All right, enough of Vedantic drilling. Let me go to the next sloka. Yes, sēturījānānām akṣaraṁ brahma yatparam abhayaṁ titīrṣatāṁ param nācikētam śakēmahi. Yaha sēturījānānām. Yaha sēturījānānām means who is the bridge for the sacrificers. Means it is referring to the nācikētagṁ earlier shloka. Akṣaraṁ brahma yatparam. I'm giving a literal meaning, then I will come to the little technical meanings are here. The imperishable Brahman, which is supreme in nature. Abhayaṁ titīrṣatāṁ pāraṁ. The fearless shore, other side, the other fearless shore who wants to reach, who wants to cross. Nācikētaṁ śakēmahi. May we be able to resort to that nācikētaḥ, the fire of nācikētaḥ. All right. Now, what I actually here telling is, now if you see purushartha, purushena arthate iyate purushartha, means the purusha means here human being, individual self, individual soul, individual self, one who desires. What is that? All of our desires has been categorized into 4 categories according to the Vedanta. One is dharma, ethics and morality, artha and kama, desires and the wealth, and the moksha is what? Mukti. Now the same dharma, artha, kama, moksha, purushartha has been classified in 2 groups in according to the Katha Upanishad. One is shreyas, the other is preyas. I hope you remember Shreyascha Preyascha Manushyametaha Tau Sampritya Vivinakti Dhiraha Shreyo Dhiro Avipreyaso Vrunite Preyo Mando Yogakshema Vrunite. There is always crisscross. Should I take the engineering or should I go to the medical? Should I take science or should I take humanities? Or should I have got 2 jobs? Meta company has given the job, and maybe TCS has given the job. Should I go to TCS? Should I go to Meta company? So every one of us, we get the crisscross. The crisscross starts from our early morning actually. Alarm rings. Should I sleep or should I get up? Isn't it? And I've started enjoying my breakfast. Masala dosa is there. One I took, enough. My belly is telling it is enough. My tongue is telling, no, you should have one more. So we have got full of choices. Now the tiger doesn't have this choice. Simply it fills its stomach, and afterwards whatever it may be there in front of that, you might give the best meal for the tiger. It might not be available even next time in his life, but still tiger doesn't accept. Why? It is a biological driven. But in my case, there is a freedom of choice with nothing. So that's where all our problem comes. Many people I've seen, many people ask, Swamiji, why did God kept this freedom of choice at all? He has put us into problem now, trouble. That means you have to be responsible. So we don't want to be responsible. Anyhow, so Shreyascha Preyascha. One is the path of spirituality, then is the path of materialistic pursuit. Both are available for you. Whichever you want, you can select. So the Purushartha has been classified into the Shreyo Marga and Preyo Marga. The life of materialistic pursuit, and the other is life of spirituality, or the self-knowledge pursuit. Now, here, if you want the heaven or materialistic pursuit, and including the achievement of heaven, you can do it. That by doing the nācikētagṁ or the pañcāgnayō, by doing that, you can get the materialistic pursuits. I can get wealth, I will get progeny, I will get good family people, siblings, etc., etc. That's the one side. No, I don't want all of them. I want brahmagnāna and brahmagnāna alone. Yes, that is also possible. That idea has been given here. Now, ījānānām means for the ritualist. One who is, or a ritualist means I don't believe in yagnas, I don't believe in worship. If you some of you might think, so a ritualist means what? One who is work-bound people, work-centered people. They want to work. People say, Swamiji, I can't keep quiet. I would like to work. Even whether they pay or not, the paycheck I'm not bothered, but I want to work. Why? They can't keep quiet because of their restless nature or whatever it may be. Basically, work-centered people or action-centered people here. So, materialistic people, such people can attain through action. That is what called nācikētaḥ vidya, the nācikēta yagna or ritual. Then śakēmahi we can resort to. So, we can resort to that rituals. Then yah setu, which is the means to reach materialistic pursuits and also the heaven. So, if you want heaven or if you want materialistic pursuits, you can do nācikētaḥ vidya. Or you can earn money, you can have your soft skills, you can have professional skills, you can have life skills, and you can be a good CEO, good business entrepreneur or whatever in the layman's language. All right. Now, well, all these things fine, but I want spiritual knowledge, the ātmānagṁ. Why? Because that is the only solution possible, can give solution for my cessation of complete suffering. I want spiritual knowledge, self-knowledge. If so, then śakēmahi. Yes, you have to resort to. Yah setu, which behaves, which takes the role of the bridge, which is that akṣaraṁ Brahma. So here akṣaraṁ Brahma means it is ātmānagṁ. Not the akṣara is imperishable, not the Brahma is Brahman. Here is self-knowledge. That's where I'm saying contextually sometimes we have to understand the word, every different places it can make different. Akṣaraṁ paramam vidhi in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, if you say this akṣaram means nothing but the another name for the Brahman. Here akṣaraṁ Brahma means ātmānagṁ. And abhayaṁ means fearlessness, we know. But here abhayaṁ means it is moksha or self-realization. So if you want self-knowledge, yes, you can. If you want a realization, then resort to akṣaraṁ Brahma and abhayaṁ. If you resort to akṣaraṁ Brahma, you will get abhaya. Akṣaraṁ Brahma is what means. That is the Vedantic knowledge, self-knowledge, ātmānagṁ, that is scriptural knowledge. Then by that you will get abhaya. You will become fearless. That is what? Moksha or mukti. The moment when I understand So titīrṣatāṁ pāraṁ means the fearless shore for those who wishes to cross. Abhayaṁ titīrṣatāṁ param. Abhayaṁ titīrṣatāṁ param means the fearless shore for those who wishes to cross. That is what nothing but the mukti in a poetic way they have to. Now the choice is yours. Whether you want to enjoy materialistic pursuit or whether you want to have ātmānagṁ or brahmagnāna, fine, both are fine. It is up to you to decide. So don't tell me, the Yama is telling, you can't simply blame any one of us. The choice is yours. So have a right choice at right time, then your life will be happy. Otherwise, we do wrong choice at wrong time or maybe wrong choice at right time, still we will suffer. Now, the beautiful, very powerful and very famous mantras for 3 to 9 it starts. ātmānagṁ rathinaṁ viddhiḥ, śarīragṁ rathamēva, buddhiṁ tu sārathiṁ viddhiḥ, manapragrahamēva. The whole human life, the human journey has been beautifully put in this shloka. ātmānagṁ rathinaṁ viddhiḥ. Viddhi, no. What is that? ātmānagṁ rathinaṁ. Means the Atman, the individual self, is nothing but the one who is sitting in the ratha. Ratha means chariot. Rathi means one who is sitting in the chariot. The owner of the chariot, you can say. So who is Atman? If you think, if you ask, so they are giving a comparison here. The Atman is compared to the Rathi, that is the traveler who is sitting in the chariot. Śarīragṁ rathamēva. What about this body? Body is compared to the ratha, the chariot. I think, hope everyone will understand. Then, buddhiṁ tu sārathiṁ viddhiḥ. Who is the driver? Who is the driver? The driver is what? Buddhi here. Then what about the reins? Again, if you remember, don't remember the now Tesla vehicle and other things. It is better to remember the chariot because they have given. So the buddhiṁ, buddhi is what? Sarathi, the driver. And the reins which you will use to control the horses, they are called the reins. So the traveler, the owner of the chariot is what? The Atman. The chariot itself is the body compared to the body, and the charioteer or the driver is what? A buddhi, intellect, and the reins are nothing but manapragrahamēva. Then indriyāne ahayānahu, it goes. Then what about the horses? If you ask, the horses are nothing but the sense organs. Then what about sense objects? The road. So the the owner is what? Atman. The body is what? Chariot. And the driver is what? Buddhi. The reins, lagam we say lagam. Lagamu we say that the reins is what? The manas. The 5 horses are 5 sense organs, and the 5 sense objects is what? 5-lane road. 2-lane road. Now Bangalore, Mysore 4-lane has happened. We all enjoy. Oh, 4-lane road has come, Swamiji. Now we can go very fast, people say. And they did in 1 hour they reached, and afterwards they got rules, regulations, fines and all different. Now God has created us. Nature has created for us 5-lane road. 1 lane is what? Which is pertaining to the sense organ called eye. Another with the taste, that is tongue. Another with the touch, skin. Another with the other gnanendriya, sound, music or ear. The other is from the smell or the 5 sense organs. So 5 sense organs of knowledge, 5-lane has been given to enjoy your life. So travel in the 5-lane road has been. God has created this. Our nature has created this. So enjoy the 5-lane road. Then you might ask, and especially the Bengaloreans, and then what about the condition of the road, Swamiji? 5-lane road is fine, but then what about the condition of the road? Oh, that we cannot tell. That it is pertaining to the individual. We cannot tell that, but the horses is in your hands, the chariot is in your hands, you are the owner, and the reins is in your hands, and you have got the horses also. All these things are in your hands, but the road is not in your hand. The road is not in your hand, except all the 5 items is in your hand. So be aware of that and enjoy the 5-lane road drive. The more and more you are enjoying without maintaining the speed brake or without maintaining the speed, then you will get love letter. What is that love letter? It is the fine, because you didn't maintain the speed properly. So here fine we get is what? Problems, sufferings, because of wrong attitude, or overthinking, or abusing the body. My Gurudev used to tell, eat shamelessly and suffer silently. Eat shamelessly and suffer silently. Eat silently and suffer shamelessly. But we do eat shamelessly and suffer silently, we do. Anyhow. So now this is also a meditative shloka actually. Now what is this body? It is nothing but the chariot. Then what about my sense organs? They are nothing but the horses. Then what about the reins? It is nothing but our mind. Then what is about the intellect, buddhi? It is nothing but the driver. And the person who is sitting in the chariot is what? The Atman, the I, or the self. Once you understand this, then you will be able to very clearly discrimination between the seer and the seen. Druk and drushya, you can very well understand. And by telling this, very clearly the Upanishad is telling, I am the self and I have a body. But unfortunately, we are behaving, we are acting as I am the body. I am the self and I have a body and mind. But I am behaving as if I am the body and mind, and that's where I am suffering. And one more, Upanishad tells all this, after telling all these things, Upanishad tells, Sharīramadhyam kalu dharma sadhanam. The first dharma, the first step of dharma is what? Protect your body. Means handle it in proper way. Don't abuse also, and don't be careless also. When I am self, why should I bother about this body? Why? Because that's the only weapon available for you to use your things. Even for realization of your own nature, to remove the ignorance, that's the only availability is what? This tool. So you have to use it a legitimate way, in a proper way. So this Ashtanga Yoga comes in a picture. Ashtanga Yoga is for everyone, for householders and including monks. According to the scriptures, Ashtanga Yoga is also prescribed for monks also. No choice actually. We will take choices, that's different, but scriptures doesn't give. So by that, you will have a healthy body and healthy mind and healthy emotions. When you are healthy, what happens? The resistance power is more. You don't get easily fever. You don't get easily cold. You don't get easily headache or body ache or whatever. Then the resistance power reduces, then we suffer. So nothing much but it is a physical health, or it is a mental health, or emotional health, or spiritual health. So healthy body, healthy mind is very, very important. So because they are the instruments given by the nature or the God. Of course, we have paid the trade, the fare there, no doubt. What is the fare? We have paid the like air fare, train fare, bus fare. Our fare is what here? Our papa and punya, or our karma phala. So don't worry, God has not created us simply, or nature has not created us simply. We have paid the price for that. For travel fare we have paid in the form of papa and punya. So based on that, we will be getting our 5-lane roads. So let us try to discuss more and more about this 5-lane road and how to control our speed and how to enjoy the ride. If you don't control your steering or the brake and etc., then you will meet with an accident. So similarly, why people meet with an accident and why some people doesn't meet with an accident. All these things are beautifully explained in the next 5-6 slokas. We will try to discuss after 15 days. So because next week I'm going to Netherlands, and other next week I think one more monk is coming. So I don't think two more weeks I'll be able to take class. But if anything is there, I'll confirm. So after 15 days, we will try to enjoy the 5-lane road travel. Then till then, just anticipate the 5-lane road travel. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu. Yeah. So one person is asking, if the Atman is the owner of the chariot and sitting in the chariot, the passenger sits on a chariot and she has a desire to go somewhere. So in this example, if Atman is the passenger, where does the desire to go outside the chariot? Where does it desire to go using the chariot? Where does it desire? to go using the chariot. So the desire will be in the mind, actually, in the mind and the intellect. So I think it comes actually, Indriyane ayanau vishayansteshu gocharam atmendriya manoyuktam bhokte tyahur manishin. Afterwards it comes duštashva sadashva, it comes. If the good horses are there, then they will listening to the driver, charioteer, and they will be going a right way. Otherwise, if the horses are not under our control, then what happens? We will meet with an accident. So the desires, you can say, is what the reins and the charioteer. The charioteer has to have the control here. That is what the driver. Even sometimes the horses can be a problematic. But if the person who is handling the ride, if he can hold the horses, if he can tame the horses, he can go. Otherwise, there will be an accident. So the good and bad desires, it will be in the mind and also in the intellect, no doubt. That's where the sārathi, the intellect, comes into picture. Because mind is mostly, it is instinctive. The higher faculty of the mind, precortex, we say, so that's where it has to take the lead, rationality, right thinking, proper thinking, and otherwise. So otherwise will be instinctive. So the nature of mind is instinctive, the nature of manas, the nature of intellect is what? Rationality, or the viveka buddhi.
Can it be seen as the individual self instead of
Yes,
the
of course.
ātmānagṁ? Then it makes sense also that there is the whole thing. Then it is also the experiencer as long as it is bound, and then there is no more anything else.
Yes, ātmānagṁ rathinaṁ viddhiḥ, when you say Atman is individual self here, not the Brahman here.
Okay.
Yes, it is the individual self, or Jivatma, you can say. Maybe the better way of putting is what Jivatma here. Yeah.
Ram Maharaj, so I have actually a basic question. You keep on telling about the subjective objective thing. So when what is the definition of this objective outlook and subjective outlook? What the first thing I understood, that I am the subject, but I think myself as the objects, which are the body and mind. That part is clear. But the other one is I am the object. That means I think I am the body and mind. That's the same thing. But what about that having the subjective outlook? So what is that? What is the definition of that objective outlook and subjective outlook?
Yeah, right now, if you ask me, probably the way of explaining can be non-judgmental. So if it is subjective outlook, it is judgmental. And if it is an objective outlook, you are a non-judgmental. Or in a simple words, if you want me to say, see things as they are. See the things as they are. Yesterday,
so
day
if
before,
I am, if I am the
I'll give a simple
object,
example, very crude example I will give you. So 2 days before, I think Sunday, devotees had bought son papdi. Son papdi sweet. Okay, generally nowadays I am trying to avoid some sweets as much as possible. But still devotees had bought, then as a courtesy sake, I took a small pinch of it, no doubt. Then afterwards my mind was thinking, son papdi is so delicious. It is very hard to say no. I think it is difficult to say no. I think you should have it. It told. The mind gave me this, the feeling or the thought or whatever. But I was very happy, at least in a fraction of a second or maybe two, mind said, oh my dear, come on, you can't afford to tell this. Why? Because neither son papdi is good or bad. Neither son papdi is tempting or not tempting. Because you like son papdi, that's why son papdi is tempting. If someone doesn't like son papdi, for him, he will take, no, I don't want son papdi. Because there is a one volunteer who comes here. He doesn't eat sweets at all. He says, no, sweet is not my cup of tea. Then even you give the best son papdi for him, he will say, sorry. Now for me, even ordinary son papdi is enough to carry over my mind. I don't want to eat sweet. Our doctors might have said not to eat sweet. Now I am eating. You feel, Swamiji, you don't know how difficult to control eating son papdi. You don't understand. Is it really difficult? No. Because of the desire. Why? Because I like son papdi. Means what? You have given the power to your mind and your desire, and you are saying that it is very difficult to control. So this is what I mean, subjective outlook. Controlling eating Son Papdi is very, very difficult. It is a Herculean task. Objective outlook is what? Son Papdi, it is a sweet, it is delicious, no doubt. If you can eat, if you can afford to eat, if your body accepts it, and if there is no medical prescription, you should not take sweets and all, then take it, enjoy it, no doubt. But otherwise, better not. So Son Papdi itself is neither good nor bad. It is a sweet, no doubt, from that angle I am speaking. Isn't it? And one more example I will say. Maybe recently one lady brought for us a dish, cooking what Corolla bhaja. That is the bitter gourd, fried bitter gourd. Now I ate, I enjoyed, I ate, no problem. Well, the one more volunteer is there here with us, and he was taking. I said, you take few pieces, 2, 3, 4 pieces. If you like it, you take. I don't mind. He said, no, Swami, you are also taking, I will also take, and it is good for health, you said, and I should also make this habit of eating this bitter and get ready and all. He also attends my Vedanta class. He also got a little inspired, I think. I said, all right, if you want to take, fine, you take it. Then poor man, he took 1 or 2 bites. Then afterwards he said, Swamiji, can I mix honey with this? Or can I mix anything else? Why? Oh, it is bitter, it is good for health, no doubt, but it is becoming too difficult to eat it. And he had to forcefully, he was trying to eat. Now, I was eating Corolla or bitter gourd, I didn't have a problem. So does bitter gourd have a problem? No. Bitter gourd doesn't have any problem at all. But because I like it or I don't have any problem, I enjoy it or relinquish it, and the other fellow who doesn't like bitter, he is suffering from eating Corolla. So you cannot say Corolla is giving suffering. Corolla doesn't give suffering or happiness. It is your mind is giving happiness and suffering. That is what I mean subjective outlook. Objective outlook is what? Corolla is a vegetable, and by taking it, it is good for health, they say. So I am taking it. That's all. And it has got some nutrients, it has got some nutrients value, so I am taking it. So it is not insensitivity, it is rather seeing things as they are, as it is. That's what I mean objective outlook. I hope you could understand.
Objective or subjective? Seeing things as it is. Seeing things as it is, that is subjective outlook or objective outlook? That
seeing things as it is what objective outlook. Seeing things with our colored mind is what subjective outlook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? If so, no, then we'll end the class.
Pranam Swamiji. So we will then not have class in the next week, and the week after that we'll assemble, or 2 weeks?
Just 1 minute, I'm seeing the calendar. Oh no, I think next
12th May.
Sorry, next week we can have 5th. So 12th and 19th I am not available.
Okay.
So sorry for that. Sorry for misinformation. So 5th we can have it, and 12th and 19th we cannot have it. Yes, I will not be. 12th I will be in Netherlands. 19th I guess from this.
Yeah. Next Tuesday is 5th. Yeah. Okay.
Next Tuesday is there, and followed by 2 weeks we will not have class. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.